With a few upgrades and tweaks here and there, Omega have managed to make an iconic watch an even better one. Let's get into it! Yes, and welcome to the Mad Watch Collector Show. Another episode in a series I like to call Buying at BQ. Dedicated to finding the best pre-owned watches on their website that are under the £5,000 mark. I think if you're looking in that price range, you should be looking at too. A few months ago, I said that this watch today is the best watch that has ever been made, or best line of watches ever made. We are talking about the Omega Speedmaster, and over the years, I have been very fortunate to handle and wear many of them, right back to the 60s, all the way to the nowsies. Now, after 26 years of making the same one, in 2021, Omega decided to give some absolute awesome upgrades to the Speedmaster that has made me seriously start thinking about saving for it. A couple of years ago, I handled a 2020 Speedmaster, and there was one giant thing that put me off. Well, this 2021 version has almost changed my mind completely. It's made me think very strongly about selling one of my pedigree cats.
Say what?
Anyway, why have I changed my mind about wanting a Speedmaster? What have they upgraded and what have they got absolutely right? Plus, what does the wife think about this watch? Are you speedy ready? Let's go! Before I show you the watch, let me show you the little miniature suitcase it comes in. Looks like a very fancy lunchbox. But ladies and gentlemen, here is a 2022 version of the latest reference of the Omega Speedmaster. What an absolute beauty. I mean, there's handsome looks and there's handsome looks, but I don't think this can look any more handsomer. In fact, it's one of the most perfect looking watches on the planet. And that is with the meat and two veg at 12 o'clock. Obviously, this watch has a lot of significance to it because it was the range of watches that were commissioned for the Gemini and Apollo missions to space and the moon. So distinctive with its anodized black tachymeter bezel, asymmetrical stainless steel case. It was 1964 when Omega started to put professional on the dial of the Speedmaster. That's when there was this added protection on the chronograph pushers and the crown. And I know I'll talk about it in a minute, but that bracelet is absolutely phenomenal. And it's one of the reasons why I was put off from the last reference. Check out those lyre lugs. So synonymous with this watch. How they look like they're twisted. Huge beveling on them. Polishing is beautiful. Brushing is lovely. It's an honor to have one of these in the hands. Quick spec check. We've got a 42mm diameter case. Only a lug to lug of 47mm. It's 13.5mm thick. And a very strapaholic lug width of 20mm. Now, like the original Speedy back in '69, we have a Hesalite crystal protecting the dial. In other words, plexiglass, something that a lot of companies have run away from in the past 25 years. However, there isn't a sapphire glass that can give such a lovely dome with a beautiful vintage hue over it, you know? Yes, it's gonna get scratches,
But you can buff them up pretty quick.
the crown and pushers are not screw-in. We do have a screw-in case back, but this watch only gives us 50 meters of water resistance. Omega, that is silly, isn't it? I mean, the companies say you are able to swim with this, just don't go fiddling about with the pushers when you're in the pool. But in 2024, for a watch that is priced brand new at £6,500, that is regarded as a sports watch, to only have 50 meters water resistance, something's quite not adding up here. Anyway, I absolutely love the case back. In the middle, we have the iconic hippocampus. This mythical creature used to pull the chariot for Neptune in water, underwater, possibly further than 50 meters underwater. First watch worn on the moon. That is pretty big bragging rights, isn't it? The moon landings were fake. Shut up, let's not go there. Let's come on to the bracelet, and one of the main reasons why I've changed my mind about wanting one of these Speedies. So the last new reference I handled had what to me looked like a Seamaster bracelet. Big and chunky, still lost in the 90s, bulgy and shiny. It didn't quite go well with the chronograph watch. We also had big protruding male end links that didn't particularly sit well on my wrist. But this one This one's on another level. Everything drops down from the lugs. The links are almost half links. The articulation is fantastic. It's all brushed. As a sports watch, that's what I'm looking for. It's funny because in the sapphire sandwich version of this watch, those thin mid links are polished to signify the shininess of sapphire. But we've got massive changes done to the clasp. This all is heavily inspired by that 1969 Speedmaster. The last reference had a 20mm lug width with only a 2mm taper, and it made the watch look big on your wrist. This one, well, whilst it's still being 20mm lug width, it tapers to 15mm. So it's taken away the bulkiness. I think this is going to look awesome on the wrist. The only thing we don't have is on-the-fly micro adjusts. And for me that never uses micro adjusts or on-the-fly anything, it having half links, I'm going to find a very good fit. Win! Okay, let's look at the face.
Dial time.
So from one upgrade to another, the previous version that had been going for 26 years had a flat matte black sloping dial. This one's been changed to a stepped dial, just like the 1969 Buzz Aldrin Speedy. That's another reason why I love it. Now everything is printed on here. One thing to note that with the sapphire reference, the Omega logo is applied. Not sure why it's only printed here, but it being a proper tool watch or a luxury tool watch with quite a bit going on the dial, I'm happy with that. The text is also a little bit bigger than the previous reference. I'm also fine with that. The sunken radial brush subdials are awesome. Perfect sized and balanced to perfection on this dial. I believe the handset has been slightly changed as well to match Buzz Aldrin's Speedy.
I don't know why they changed all this stuff in the first place.
However, for me, there is not a single there is not a single thing I would change on this dial, because for a chronograph, it is magic.
Could you just click that like button, please? It really helps the channel. Thank you.
So we got lume on the hands, lume on the indices. Out of 10, how much does this space watch glow? Okay, not amazing, but still good enough to get you through any sort of spacewalk. The glow is slightly different from the hands to the indices. This thing is not a dive watch, and that C3 Superluminova is good enough for me. Okay, so here comes the major upgrade with this reference. It's the movement. The 1861 manual winder had been used in this watch for well over 20 years. So for Omega to have changed it is quite a big thing. Now, it was one of the only Omegas in their lineup that didn't have a coaxial inside. So it was only a matter of time. And in this one, we have the 3861 engine inside. This master chronometer, which is ticked off by Metas, will only lose or gain 0 to 5 seconds a day. Anti-magnetic to 15,000 Gauss, 5,000 more than a mil Gauss, beating away at 28,800 beats per hour. For someone that doesn't really like display casebacks, I kinda want it on this one. The coaxial escapement gives this watch greater mechanical efficiency, which in turn gives phenomenal accuracy and precision. And less wear. The winding of this movement is, oh, well, it's like winding an old vintage pocket watch. Have a listen to this. It's phenomenal. Phenomenal. Oh, there is no and never will be a date window in this watch. Hey! Pushing these chronograph pushers is, oh, well, just have a listen. Oh, mama. Reset. That is brilliant. An absolute pleasure to operate. I think I want it.
Hello.
On my 6.5-inch wrist, and yeah, I know I want it now. What a difference a bracelet makes. It is unbelievable. So BQ watches, I don't think I need to give it back if the shoe fits. Such a difference to the previous model, and would have no doubt put a lot of people off. This watch now feels like a 40mm case. I don't know why I'm so giddy, because I've handled so many of these watches. I've finally found an Omega Speedmaster I want to own. This is my new grail goal. You heard it here first. So there we go, a 2022 version of the 2021 Omega Speedmaster. What do you lot think? Well, for me, they've absolutely nailed it, Omega has. From the changing of the dial to a stepped one, like the Buzz Aldrin Speedy, having a coaxial escapement in it now makes it a proper modern Omega. But wow, this bracelet, I am very impressed. Now, there are loads of little hidden details that Omega have done on this watch I haven't mentioned yet, such as the dot over 90 on the tachymeter bezel, which is just like Buzz Aldrin's from 1969, or the little Omega logo that is etched on the inside of this plexi Hesselite glass. It feels like a luxury watch, it looks like a luxury watch, and it does cost like a luxury watch, unfortunately to us, but I definitely love it. The only thing I don't like about it is the 50 meters of water resistance. Come on, Omega! You've made watches that can go 1,000, 10,000 meters under the ocean. We just want a Speedy that can go 50 meters more, just for peace of mind. This watch is on the BQ website right now. Go check it out. This company offer a 2-year warranty. I'd love to know if there are any other watches you've seen for under £5,000. I'm always on the lookout, but for me on this series, this is the best one I've reviewed so far. Period. So here it is, my wife's views on this 2021-2022 Omega Speedmaster. It's all right. I don't love it, nor do I hate it. It looks like a Seiko. Also, I'm getting bubble vibes, making me feel like bubbles. Okay, I'm not sure what she was on with the bubble term, maybe the Hesselite crystal, but maybe I should have told her it came in a fancy lunchbox. She might have felt differently. Thank you so much to BQ for sending this watch in to me. I'm gonna ship this back to them straight away. Maybe tomorrow. I'm gonna maybe keep it for one more day. But anyway, if you want more of the Mad Watch Collector channel, click here and join. And if I've got you for a few more minutes, well, this is phenomenal, this one. Check this one out, because oh, I worked so hard on this one. Go on, check it out. Check it out. It is superb, you know. Go on, click it. Click it.